Alright, hello, beautiful YouTube people. Real quick, before I start the video, for any of you guys who know my uploading schedule, um, this is for you, and I know there's at least one of you out there. I just want to let you guys know that there is no challenge games video going out today because I recorded them and my mic was muted. So hopefully to compensate and make up for that, I am putting out the Reddit video on either Monday or Tuesday whenever I end up posting this. But the Reddit video, or the challenge games video, sorry, will be uploaded in place of the normal scheduled Reddit video every Thursday. So for those of you who are confused, which as I said is at least one of you guys, just let you know. But I'll catch you guys in the video. So peace out. I think you should like and subscribe, but that's just me. See you guys in a sec. All right. As you heard that little idiot say before, this video will be going out in place of the challenge games video. And real quick before I start, I do want to mention somewhere in the middle, I hope I remember to point it out, my video just completely cuts, and it was right before I started mining, and I'm gonna just randomly have 2 stacks of diamonds. Guys, I promise you this isn't one of those off-camera mining moments. I actually got them myself, but you guys will be able to see how I did it later, so it's not gonna be too big of a deal. But with that being said, let's get right into the first story. Alright. Alright, the first story comes from Am I the Asshole? And it reads, Am I the asshole for telling my wife no after she asked me to take her to Applebee's? So I picked this one because I thought it was like a little bit of a funny story. And again, just like the last one, I'm reading these videos like without having read them before. Like this is my just raw reaction straight up. The post reads, So my wife was born into a large family. She has numerous siblings and always likes to get them, quote, something nice for their birthdays. I, on the other hand, am an only child and come from a small family. We each get $1,000 of, quote, fun money each month, which doesn't include groceries, gas, bills, and nothing but our personal spending. I'm a pretty frugal guy and I have cheap/free hobbies, and she's a bit more of a spender. She's been complaining lately that due to inflation, $1,000 spending money is, quote, just not enough, and that we need to raise it. I said no, because I feel it's plenty and I can't even spend mine as it is. Well, lately, she's been blowing through hers on hair, makeup, nails, and gifts for her family. Recently, it was her sister's birthday, and since she's into photography, and the wife bought her a $450 camera, plus she bought herself a $500 hairstyler and completely blew through her monthly budget in a matter of days. We go on dates once a month, and then he put in parentheses here, he said, I know, I'm increasing it to twice, but it's because I work a lot, and he also says, and I always am the one to pay for those dates. So my wife wanted me to take her to Applebee's on a weekday and pay, of course, and I said no. I told her she needs to make better choices, and she got mad and said, it was a gift for my sister, it's not fair because you don't have siblings. I told her even if I did, I'd get them a signed birthday card and something small, not a $450 gift. She said I shouldn't be like that because I don't even spend my $1,000, and asked what I was even saving mine for anyway. I said it's my spending money, so I don't need to spend it on her just because she blew through hers due to her bad choices. Now she's mad and is acting like I'm the one who should apologize. And then he adds like a little side note here at the bottom, says, and yes, I also spend my fun money on haircuts twice a month, and no, I don't prefer her quote unquote dolled up. I actually prefer her natural. So am I the asshole? No. No. You're not the asshole. I think it's already privilege enough, the fact that you're able to spend $1,000 of fun money each, like an extra $2,000 a month that doesn't need to go towards bills, like $12,000 a year per person, personal spend money. You know what I mean? So already having $1,000 in spending money is enough of a privilege, but the fact that she wants to surpass that limit and get more past that limit, like she can do whatever she wants with the money, but the fact that after she does what she wants with the money and then she wants more money after that is a little crazy to me. And on top of that, the fact that she blames it on inflation, meanwhile she spent $950, not including tax, or maybe including tax, whatever, we don't know that, but the fact that she spent that much money in not only such a short amount of time, but on things that weren't even for her is a little crazy to me. Like, I understand buying someone an expensive gift, but when you have a set limit for the month, going through that and then asking for more money and using it as a justification that the money wasn't spent on you is seriously insane to me. I think what could have prevented this is if she had a sit down conversation with OP and said, "Hey, I want to spend $450 on a gift." And maybe see if OP could also chip in. Maybe they could split 50-50 because, as he said, he doesn't spend his $1,000. But I'm not going to lie, if he doesn't spend all of his $1,000, that means he has a bunch of money just racked up. So I don't know why he couldn't just take her to Applebee's. But it also could be multiple things. Like, he might just want to get a point across because I feel like if he were to open the door to being able to her, like, what's the word for it? If he opened the door for her to just be able to ask for things when she's already past her limit, it might just allow a lot more in the future, a lot more things in the future in times where she can just ask for things after she's past her limit, which again, we don't know the entire story, but that very well could be a part of it. But I wouldn't say OP is the ass. I just don't think overall that it's really smart where if you know you have an $1,000 limit, you're going and spending $500 on a hairstyler and $450 on a camera that's not even for yourself, and then trying to use it as a justification, like, oh, but I was being so nice and I bought a gift and that's why I don't have money. No, you still spent it. You still spent it. It's your fault. OP's not the asshole, but definitely probably could have handled the situation better. You probably just could have just taken her to Applebee's. But with that being said, though, let's move right on to the next one. All right. Right before I start the next one, I do just want to mention the fact that right now I'm trying to get down to the skeleton spawner, and I die so many times. I actually die so many times trying to get the spawner working. Like, you'll see it. You'll see it. It's an absurd amount of times. I think I actually die right here trying to get down to the skeletons, and then it ends up getting so bad that the zombie spawners that are behind me that weren't really too much of an issue earlier start to become an issue because they just keep piling up. But you guys will see what I mean. But again, let's move right on to the next story here. Alright, so the next story is titled, "Am I the asshole for not standing by my sister's side and losing my family over her actions?" The post reads, "I'm 25 and my sister is 30. Her husband is also 30. They've been together for 13 years and married for about 7 or 8 years. My sister is a nasty person. She went out of her way to break a good man. She hit him, she threw stuff at him, she belittles him, anything he does. I've seen this happen for 13 years. He took all of her abuse, always, said that he loved her and that she promised to change and that he couldn't leave because of the children." And then parentheses, OP says, "Yes, we talk. He comes to mind. I've been trying to get him to leave since I understood her behavior was wrong." And she continues to say, "Well, finally, she went too far. She smacked him while he was driving, and he lost control of the car and hit a police car." Oh! The passenger in another car saw what she had done and could hear her screaming at him. Oh my god. She was arrested for assault and domestic violence. Oh my god. My family and I are no, sorry. My family is supporting my sister, telling everyone he must have done something and he wasn't being abused by a woman. Oh my god. By a woman, because a woman can't hurt a man? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. And then OP continues to say, "Yet they saw her at Christmas hit him. It happened a lot within the 13 years. My family said I should talk to him, and I shouldn't help him with my niece and nephew, and I shouldn't be giving evidence against her, and if I do, I'm no longer their daughter. This stings a lot knowing that they'll disown me if I tell the truth. So I really need a third person's thoughts on if I'm the asshole if I go through with all this. Am I an asshole for not supporting her or being on her side? Is this worth losing my family over, even though I know that I'm in the right for giving evidence and stopping her from ever hurting another partner in the future?" Oh my god. Dude, this has to be one of the craziest things, dude. One of the craziest things I read. And I mean, going through some comments before I like give my opinion on things, this person here is saying if she's comfortable hitting him, what's stopping her from doing it to the kids? Which is so true. Dude, this is absolutely insane. I mean, distracting someone while driving is already like a no, like don't do that because it's dangerous. Like this person rear-ended a cop car, but on top of that, don't just hit people. I mean, like I don't know how hard it is to understand to just not hurt other people. Like I mean, unless they absolutely, I mean, even if they absolutely deserve it, like if someone like just starts shitting on you for no reason, like boom, right in the face. I don't condone violence. Do not do that. Don't do that. Don't sue me. But it's just, it's just not how unhealthy of a relationship. And I mean, no offense to this guy, but how insecure does this guy have to just be dealing with this? Like, I think what's even crazier to me is the fact that her family has actually seen this like in real time. Because OP here says, yet they saw her at Christmas hit him, and it happened a lot in the last 13 years. I oh my god, I don't even know condoning violence and not standing up against it because they're a family member or someone you're close with. Like, I seriously, wow. I don't think I said it yet, but OP is not the asshole. Well, I do partially understand where the family is coming from. Like, you don't want someone you know or love to be going to prison. It gets to a point where once it crosses the line, like they deserve to be in prison. And this is one of those situations. But yeah, OP is not the asshole, and I think that OP needs to kind of. I mean, I don't want to say smack some sense into because I don't want OP actually smacking other people after what's happening with her sister, but I think OP needs to smack some sense into her parents and be like, "Yo, like this is not okay. Like you guys need to realize that this is not okay, and that this needs to be fixed." You get what I mean? I don't know. This one's crazy. This one is absolutely insane. Always, I mean, at least in situations like this, always stand by the victim because unless the guy is doing and saying things that absolutely like deserve him to be getting smacked in the face, which it doesn't sound like he is by the way OP's talking about him, he should not be taking this abuse. And she should 100% be standing by the victim. And as I said, she needs to have a sit down with her parents and be like, yo, this is not cool. Like, this is not cool at all. And the fact that you guys are willing to kick me out because I want to speak the truth is even crazier. Not the asshole. At all. At all. Damn. But yeah, with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is actually from Would I Be the Asshole? And if any of you are like actively watching the video right now, if you can see, this is where all of the absolute hell starts to go and splurge everywhere because I just keep dying. And these zombies from the Champions mod just have like vengeance, which deals damage to me when I deal damage to them. So it's like impossible to kill them if I don't have enough food that gives me like a good saturation so I can heal back up. Like it's actually so incredibly difficult. But again, let's move right on to the next story. Alrighty, this one says, would I be the asshole if I reported my ex-boyfriend to the police? Some context. My boyfriend, 23, and I, 22, dated in high school. He cheated on me with his ex, and it was a whole thing. 5 years later, we reconnected a bit, and I chose to give him a second chance, as we'd both grown up quite a bit. People change, you know? We got pregnant less than, I think OP means I got pregnant. I got pregnant less than a month into dating, and now we have a 5-month-old together. I just found out that he cheated on me 2 months back in the midst of my grandmother being hospitalized and subsequently passing away. Oh my god, he said that he only did it because we hadn't been intimate in a while. Very suggestive messages were exchanged between him and a coworker. Said the coworker is a 17-year-old girl! I want to report him because he started speaking with her under the assumption that she was 16! What the hell? What the hell? Hold on, I gotta sit back down. Oh my god. The only thing making me hesitate is that I promised him from the beginning that should anything ever happen, I wouldn't keep his son from him. I don't want my son to grow up without a dad, but do I really want that kind of disgusting example paraded around in front of my son? I don't want to be conflicted about this, but I really am. Any advice is appreciated. That is insane. OP has an edit here, but I'm just gonna say this first. This guy needs to be out. Under the assumption that she was 16. This is incredible. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that you should report him to the police. And in this situation, which I know I said in the last video with the cheating guy and the mom not letting her kids see their father, I feel like this one's a little different because this is like actually something illegal. Not only did he cheat on her, he cheated on her with someone he thought was 16 years old. She should definitely report him to the police. There should be no conflict. This guy should not be able to see his son because that's like how awful would that be for this kid, because this kid is gonna want to know why mommy and daddy aren't talking anymore, or why mommy and daddy aren't together anymore. And hi, sorry, that was my dog. Oh, he's shaking. But then what are they gonna do? Explain the fact that dad that dad cheated on mom with a 16-year-old girl? Like, Jesus Lord. No, no, you would not be the asshole. I mean, I feel like a lot of these would I be the asshole or am I the asshole things that I've been reading are just related to legality. And if it has anything to do with legality, 95% of the time you wouldn't be the asshole for reporting them. Like, this is seriously, this is crazy to me. But here, let's read the edit that OP put down. OP said, according to both of them, nothing physical happened, but due to the nature of what little of their conversations were saved on Snapchat, pictures may have been exchanged, but I have no proof of that one way or the other. All right, let me tell you, OP. Pictures were definitely exchanged, and the fact that both of them said nothing physical ever happened really means nothing at all. Like, at all. Unfortunately, something probably did happen, and they're just trying to cover it from her because it sounds like the way she's saying this is that this guy wants his ass to be saved, and OP just should not let that happen. Obviously, OP would not be the asshole, and OP is not the asshole at all. All right, but with that being said, let's move on to the next story. This one is also from Am I the Asshole? And it reads, Am I the asshole for refusing to go on a family trip if I have to pay a quarter of the cost? Throwaway, as my family follows my main. Every year, my family, like parents, two sisters, four nieces and nephews, go on a family getaway. We rent a house on a lake and take time to enjoy being together. This year, my sister did the booking for a 6-bedroom house. One bedroom for me, one for my parents, one for my sister and her husband, and another for my sister and her husband, and 2 bedrooms for the kids. Wait, so oh no, he has two sisters. Okay, sorry. Each of my sisters have 2 kids. It's also important that the kids are all over 19, so they're also adults. I just got the bill for my portion, and it's 1/4 of the total costs. I'm single with no kids. I asked why and was told that it was divided, quote, by family. I personally think it's unfair to charge me the same amount as a family of 4. I suggested perhaps the cost should be divided by bedrooms that were used, but I was just shot down. Am I the asshole for saying that I won't go if I have to subsidize my sister's family's portions? Man, am I really waiting for the day that I get a post that I can say someone's the asshole? Yeah, so this guy's not the asshole, and I just don't really think it's fair that OP is single and has no kids and is needing to pay the same amount as someone who is married and has multiple kids. I just don't understand where it's coming from the siblings to have to pay the same amount as someone, or having to pay less technically because they're pushing their costs onto OP. Like, I do understand splitting a trip, like, proportionally and this way, but I don't see and understand the fact that OP is, as I said multiple times, single with no kids versus OP's sisters that are married with multiple kids. They're taking up the same amount of space though, which is why I do also see this from these siblings' perspectives, because OP is getting a bedroom. But then I feel like that would need to be taken into consideration when booking the house, because now OP has to pay a portion of their sister's kids and their multiple rooms. Like, they have, I think they said they got 6 rooms total. So that was for parents, for OP, for each of OP's sisters and for each of OP's pair of kids, and yeah, it's just not fair. OP's not the asshole. But looking into it deeper, I do also think that OP shouldn't just completely bail. OP should obviously try to negotiate, but I mean, I still do think that just completely bumming out on a family vacation when, as OP said, it's supposed to be for them to enjoy their time together as a family, to completely bum out on that, that's a little lame. I mean, again, I do understand. Cost is a lot. OP might not be in the best place financially to be going on this trip, but I don't think OP should just be completely out of the vacation. So I would say 10% asshole on OP, and the rest of it obviously not the asshole, because this situation just isn't really the greatest to be in. All right, no, this one is interesting. This one, the title is "Am I the asshole for telling that I will make $250,000 a year as a certified anesthesiologist assistant?" The post reads, "I was looked down upon by my relatives and everyone as I didn't become an engineer like most of my family. In our culture, being an engineer or a doctor is a must. Also, my dad is youngest brother, so hierarchy is followed. I worked hard and started my journey to be a certified anesthesiologist assistant this year. Most of my family didn't know about how much this job pays. I can work 40 hours as well as get 6 weeks paid time off and will still make over $250,000 a year." So, they were all boasting, referring to their family, about their kids' salaries and all. They tried to put me down. I stated the average salary of a certified anesthesiologist assistant, and I asked them to Google it, which shocked them. Now they're pissed about it. They said that I'm just an assistant to an anesthesiologist. In return, I told them that their children are just slaves to big companies. My mom and dad told me to be humble, but I'm done being looked like a failure. Now extended family elders are sulking about my potential salary, which will be more than their kids' income. Not the asshole at all. I mean, I do think it's a little crazy the fact that they all just get together and boast about their kids' salaries when it's not even theirs. But on top of that, I just think this everything is so much better because OP has been shit on his or her entire life and finally is able to get a job that makes a lot of money, and now that a huge moneymaker is in play and a job that pays a lot, that OP is getting like kind of shit on for it. Like OP just can't win in this situation. What I think is it might be because everyone's just so used to OP being like a punching bag. So the fact that OP is now doing a lot better than like I don't know, assuming even all the parents too, but OP is especially doing a lot better than all the kids. Like, I think it's great. I love to see a good comeback story. OP is not the asshole, but I mean, unless OP brought it up in a way where they were kind of like flexing and bragging about it, rather than just bringing it up like, oh yeah, so you guys have been shitting on me this entire time, but you know, I'm doing this now. If OP brought it up like all humble, then yes, which makes me kind of skeptical because right on the last like little paragraph, OP says my mom and dad told me to be humble, which I totally understand because OP also said, but I'm done being looked at like a failure. But I just still don't think that it would be very healthy to just bring it up like that as a flex, and I think it would be a lot better to bring it up like as a more neutral thing. So I mean, without context, I can't really say if OP is an asshole or not because I don't know if OP brought it up in like an aggressive manner or not. But just based off of what we have here, OP's not the asshole. All right, so I peeked into the next one because I was interested based off of the title, and this one is kind of crazy. And the title is, "Am I the asshole for telling my husband that his friend can come to Thanksgiving, but I'm not going to deal with his bullshit?" So my husband has this friend. Let's call him Craig. The first time we invited Craig over for a holiday was Thanksgiving a few years ago. He said he wanted to wash his hands before dinner, but didn't want to use the bathroom. So instead, he went to the kitchen and proceeded to complain about how full the sink was and why I hadn't cleaned them yet, despite the fact that I had made an entire Thanksgiving meal. My husband said he was probably joking and I shouldn't have taken it so personally. We also invited him over for Easter, and Craig offered to bring a pie. I told him that I was already planning on making two desserts, which were a carrot cake and cheesecake stuffed strawberries. And since my husband and I were trying to lose weight, I really didn't want extra dessert floating around. So we offered to bring rolls instead. I joked that if he didn't bring King Hawaiian sweet rolls, he would not be allowed inside. So on Easter, I told him dinner would be served at 5. 5 o'clock came and no Craig. 5:30 came and still no Craig, but we decided to eat. 6, no Craig, and we move on to dessert. 6:30, we finished eating, decided to relax in the living room. 7, Craig finally shows up with his girlfriend, and I see he brought King Hawaiian butter rolls. At this point, I didn't really care since I already ate dinner without a roll, but what really got me was that he brought the pie. So, overall, what's happened? Craig goes to wash his hands and can't help but make a comment about the dishes in my sink. Then he complains that my food is nowhere as good as his girlfriend's, which probably had something to do with the fact that the food was now cold. When he was ready to leave, I told him not to forget his pie, and he mentioned that he didn't like sweets and that we could keep it. Now, Thanksgiving is coming again, and my husband wants to invite him. I said, fine, but I'm not dealing with his bullshit this time. The first condescending comment he makes, he can walk straight out, and I have to slam the pie in his face to get him to take it, then I will. My husband's telling me that I'm taking everything out of context, but I think showing up 2 hours late and being rude to the host is pretty clear. Am I the asshole? All right, so funny pie moment aside, I would not say that OP is the asshole because I mean, I think the real asshole is OP's husband, enabling this guy to be an ass to his wife. Like this guy shows up 2 hours late, which is extremely rude, especially on a holiday when you know there's gonna be food waiting for you, and especially if you're gonna bring food for people to eat as well. I do think that the comment that he said that he didn't like sweets and they could keep the pie is really funny, but still also bringing something that isn't really invited into someone else's house is also a little messed up. But I also do kind of see both sides on this because I mean there's gonna be dessert and why not just bring another one? I mean, I know OP said no, so he shouldn't have brought it, but I don't know why OP put up a fight. Yeah, trying to lose weight and you don't want extra dessert floating around, but like, come on, man. Is it that deep? He's trying to be nice and trying to actually bring something that can help, which I mean, he ended up being an asshole, or he is an asshole, so it doesn't really, change too much. But I would not want him to come over for Thanksgiving again. And I do think it's crazy the fact that OP's husband is just enabling this, like completely just letting this happen, and isn't telling Craig like, "Yo, stop talking to my wife like that," or anything. You know what I mean? And yeah, as OP said, showing up 2 hours late and being rude to the host is pretty clear. I'm not gonna go into someone's house and just be an absolute ass. That's just not. That's actually just not cool at all. Especially complaining about the food. You never complain about someone else's food. He said her food was nowhere near as good as his girlfriend's. That is crazy. If he wants to complain about that and say the food isn't as good as his girlfriend's, then he can go eat at his girlfriend's. And also, along the lines of that, if the husband really wants him over, then the husband can cook for him. But yeah, overall, OP is not the ass. Yeah, this one's a little crazy. But with that being said, let's move over to the next one, which is also from Am I the Asshole? Real quick, before I get into the next video, I suddenly had this really cool idea to want to like build some crazy enchanting hall, but I didn't really think I could fit it anywhere on land that would make it look nice and comfy. So I decided that I'm gonna try to make like a bridge from one side to the other, even though there's already a bridge that goes from one side of the river to the other. But I want to like make it some hall that like goes across the water. I think that would be really cool. But the next story reads, Am I the asshole for saying my best friend was fat shaming me after she made excuses of why I won the plus size wife weight loss challenge? I, 33F, live in an upper middle income suburban area. My friend group in my neighborhood consists of 8 women, including myself, and unfortunately, we're all overweight. There was an idea which we call the plus wife. I think she means plus size wife. The plus size wife weight loss challenge. Each wife puts down $500 and the winner wins the pot. The winner is the one who loses the most weight. We didn't factor in things like height, age, starting weight, etc. It was just the most pound loss wins. The challenge was for August, September, and October. I won by losing 32 pounds, while my best friend, Kelsey, 37F, did the second best by losing 13 pounds. When I was being rewarded the $4,000, Kelsey made a few comments. I can't remember her exact words, but she started with something to the effect of course she won. Since she was so heavy, it was so easy for her to lose weight. I started out at 304 pounds at 5'4". Kelsey started out at 267 pounds at 5'10". I'm the youngest and I had the heaviest starting weight, and I was the second shortest one. I most likely had the best advantage losing weight. Kelsey made more comments to basically explain why I lost so much weight in comparison to everyone else, my age, my height, and that I only have one child. She said that I ate so much before that I didn't even need to try. I told her she's fat shaming me. She said she's too fat to fat shame anyone, so I must be overly sensitive. Am I the asshole? um, earlier when I said that I couldn't wait to have the story where someone's being the asshole, this one I think I would actually be 50-50 on. I wouldn't go as far to say Opie's an asshole, but I mean, I don't think that Kelsey is fat shaming OP. I think that Kelsey is just jealous and just wanted to be the one to lose all that weight and, just like that. As I said, I don't think Kelsey is fat shaming, so I think I actually will say OP's an asshole and OP is over exaggerating. I think OP just needs to, like, I feel like this might branch from, like, insecurity from OP, where most things relative to weight are fat shaming. And yeah, while not healthy, I do think that this is just a coping mechanism that Kelsey is using because she is salty that she lost. Like that's all it is. As I said, I don't think that um, I don't think that Kelsey is fat shaming OP. I think OP just needs to like understand the fact that Kelsey is just jealous and wishes that she was the one that could have won. All right, this is the part where my video cut. So right here at this time, I might go into, I think it's the middle chest all the way on the right, like the right middle chest has two stacks of diamonds in the bottom right corner. And as I said earlier, you guys will see how I did it because I'm gonna use my mining technique in the Nether too. It's because I forgot I made this. I made this. I was so confident in making this Nether portal too, and it was 4x4. All right. With that aside, just to explain real quick, how I was able to do all this. So I got, obviously it's mod Minecraft. My pickaxe has an enchantment called vein mining, which you can see right here, where I'm able to just break everything of a certain type of block, and I think it breaks up to 64. So I'm able to use it on like deep slate, stone, netherrack. So it's really efficient for weeding out diamonds on like Y level 56 or Y level negative 56 or Y level negative 58. Which unfortunately, as I was maxing out my pickaxes, when the video cut out. But yeah, just a quick explanation so that way you guys aren't like, what the hell? This guy spawned in diamonds. Oh my god, and I'm so sorry I keep talking about Minecraft, but there is a nether fortress right outside of the portal. Right outside of the portal. And I'm gonna start when I start up the next Reddit part. I'm gonna cut right to like where you can see all the diamonds in the chest. I promise. I promise. I know it's a lot of diamonds, but I promise it's all legit. Okay, finally getting back into the stories. This one is actually an update of the last one, the weight loss one. So there was an update that was posted 21 hours ago. So OP continues to say the weight loss contest was a really, really, really bad idea. I felt that it was a bad idea the day I made the post and just kept learning more things that makes this idea seem worse. Kelsey and I talked. She confessed on how hard the weight loss journey was on her body, and since the contest has ended, she has already gained 6 pounds. The woman who said they didn't lose weight but ended up gaining weight said that they're still gaining weight, and as of now, Kelsey and I are the only ones who are smaller than back when the contest started, as the other women who have lost weight had already gained it all back. This time, Kelsey defended me in front of the friend group. She said the 7 of them need professional help to lose weight, and she said she's amazed that I was able to lose weight and haven't gained any back. I don't know why I was able to lose weight, as I struggled with my weight since pregnancy. I feel so bad for everyone else that the contest had been a disaster for them, but our friendships are better now. Alright, well that's a lot better to hear than how the other story ended, because, as I said, the other story ended just because I think Kelsey was jealous. And I'm assuming that, like, the gap between the last story and this might have been a long enough gap to where they both can kind of just relax and, like, cool down because, they were both kind of just, I don't know. I do think it was unnecessary that Kelsey was being pissed over something that OP rightfully won. But, I also hope it was enough time for OP to realize that it wasn't like a true beef with Kelsey, and that she was just jealous and she wasn't fat shaming, and that OP didn't need to like be so serious about something. I just hope that OP like really could realize that Kelsey was just jealous overall. And I don't know if OP still thinks that Kelsey was fat shaming her, but if not, then OP is not the asshole anymore. Because again, as I said, I don't think that it was fat shaming. I just think it was that she was jealous, and as I also said, that she just didn't know what to do about the situation. So, in the end, though, I'm glad everything else turned out alright, and that no one is actually pissed at each other, and that something that tried to be something good didn't turn out to be a shit show. Alright guys, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. If you guys liked the video, I think you should like and subscribe. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't record an outro in Minecraft, so I had to record it like this. But as I said, I think you should like and subscribe. And if you like popular most challenge games, I think you should stick around for the video that's coming out on Thursday as well. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe would really, really help me out. But I'll catch you guys in a future video, hopefully. Peace.